This short help video explains how to navigate through the Adapt Action site so that users can make the best use of it. So to start off, when you come to the site, this is the welcome page that you see. The entire site is organized around the climate resilience topics. And what you do is choose a climate resilience topic that you want to explore in more detail. Once you choose your topic, the site guides you through increasingly more detailed information on how to build climate resiliency related to that issue. That comes under three categories: environmental changes and effects, implications, and strategies. The environmental changes and effects are the changes that we're seeing in the system, in the landscape. This is how we know that this is an issue. The implications are the implications specifically for a local community, that how does this affect my community information? And then the strategies are the kinds of strategies that a municipality can undertake. And again, it's aimed specifically at municipalities. So these are strategies that fit within the mandate or the authority of a municipality. In each of these cases, the nav bar opens up to more detailed information below. The related information shows up in the main part of the screen here in the center. So for example, if you click temperature, it brings up that kind of information in the main part of the screen that you can look at in more detail. In the case of implications and strategies, there are two layers of information. Implications opens up into, first of all, implication themes, these 5 themes. And with any one of those themes, you can click on it and open up a more detailed list of implications. Click on any one of those and the information shows up in, again, the center part of the screen. For each one, the same kind of information is listed here. How does climate change affect that issue? The underlying environmental changes, and links there so you can go back to that information, why we're concerned, and then what we can do about it. A list of strategies that are specific to that implication and links to those strategies, and then references, how we know that this information is valid and information that you can use to follow up on it. The strategies information takes you straight to the information about what you can do. Similar to the implications, there's 2 layers of information. When you click on any one of these overarching strategies, it opens up a list of more specific actions underlying that strategy. Click on any action and it guides you to more detailed information. In each case, you have a short, concise description of that strategy, and then a connection to resources and references that can take you further into this topic, guides, case studies, etc. Information that allows you to better understand how that strategy or that action could be applied within your municipality. The emphasis here is on actions that can build climate resiliency for municipalities over the long term. So, in other words, proactive strategies. These resources and references can take you even further along in your efforts to create a climate resiliency plan for your municipality. Back at the welcome page, there are a number of resources and navigation options, especially for the return user or for the person who wants to dig a little deeper into some global topics, topics that relate to any of the climate resiliency topics that are listed in the Adapt Action site. So along the top, there's a series of optional resources. The policy primer describes in general terms how municipal policies can accommodate climate change adaptation strategies. This is based on the idea that there doesn't need to necessarily be an entirely new climate change adaptation strategy within a municipality, but there are lots of places where existing strategies can be modified so that it will better adapt, better accommodate climate change adaptation activity. The strategy checklist is a planning tool. It's a listing of all the strategies contained throughout the entire Adapt Action tool with checkboxes. So, implemented, under construction, in progress, not applicable. The reports section links to takeaway resources. These are downloadable PDFs of each climate resiliency issue with the full text of the environmental changes, implications, and strategies. The resources section is the recognition that Adapt Action is as much a gateway as a destination. There is so much great information out there, and we've tried to collect the resources that are most applicable to municipalities. As well, on the welcome page, there's a series of topics in the green sidebar. These are topics that relate more generally to climate change adaptation and are important to understand for the entire site. Why are we talking about climate change adaptation? Again, in a concise way, describing why that's important to municipalities, how we deal with scientific uncertainty, the inevitable scientific uncertainty, what we mean by an ecosystem-based approach to climate change adaptation, which is so important in a proactive resiliency-based approach, and which strategies support multiple adaptation issues. So throughout the Adapt Action site, each implication lists the strategies and actions that can be used to address that implication. What we've done is collect the strategies that show up most often to help the user prioritize which approaches will give the biggest bang for the buck. Also along the top here are some support resources. The Help tab has more written information about navigating through the Adapt Action site. And the Contact tab obviously shows information about how to get in touch with us. If you saw a problem with the site, if you want to know more about something that you saw, and probably the most important one, did we miss something? Like we say down here, the answer to that question is, of course, yes, we did. So please help us with improving this tool. If you have any information that you think should be in front of municipalities who are seeking to become more climate resilient, please let us know by emailing us at improve@adaptaction.ca.